New Zealand. Let's go.
Coming up, it's UFC 322 and welterweight champion Della Maddalena headlines in New York. Flyweight champion Valentina Shevchenko stops by before her first face-off against Zhang Weili.
Doesn't matter, I have to do what I have to do. I will do everything to keep the belt with me.
And we're just a week away before co-host Dan Hooker makes his anticipated return to the Octagon. Kia ora mai.
Live from the UFC Apex here in the entertainment capital of the world, Las Vegas, Nevada. Make some noise if you are ready!
The tap into round 2, Zach Reese. And that's gonna do it, Daniel Marcos.
I'm the talk of the town, the USA sound, the most profound, the boy toy, the lady's joy, the master of disaster, the true speaking pastor's pastor, the biggest arm, the most charm, the one that's gonna do all the harm. I'm more than meets the eye. I'm even sweeter than your grandma's homemade apple pie.
Spinning back fist got him that time. Tullio, danger, huge shot. Christian Leroy Duncan does it again. Bonfim coming to the ground.
Bad body language here from Bonfim. Out of nowhere. Powerful left hand.
Man's trying to end it, and he does.
It's locked in. That's dangerous. Full guard. That's all.
There's the tap. Papa Morales back in a big way. A first round tap out.
Fights on.
Kia ora e te iwi, no mai hara mai ki UFC on Sky, ko Ravinda Hunia tōku ingoa, and joining me on set today, Dan Hooker. Woo, we're close now, Dan. How
It's
are we?
almost hard work time's finished.
Yeah.
Nah, it's good. Get to this stage of camp with no injuries, feeling good, fit, weight's on point. Just need to get over there, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to traveling over to Doha, chilling out for a week. 5 weeks always fun. Get in a press conference, do a bit of a weight cut, get in each other's face, and then have a fist fight. It's kind of what I live here for.
Yeah.
kind of what I live for, really.
It is indeed. And look, simmering in the background, we know that you've been organising your own scraps. And last week you told us there was a tono out to all the dads that to come down to, down to the domain and sign up for the daddest man on the planet, I think it was.
Daddest man on the planet.
Love it, love it. So how did it go? On social media, it looked like there was quite the stampede heading towards you.
Yeah, it was crazy. I was not expecting that kind of turnout. So obviously we're doing a 1 minute scraps tournament in December for $50,000, and I just made it dads. So you got to be a dad, and you have to have had no fights. So no boxing, kickboxing, amateur, corporate, charity boxing will rule you out of the competition. So just guys that have never stepped into the ring in their life. And yeah, I had to meet me down at the park. I thought there's no more Kiwi way to do it than meet me down the park. I was at the Domain Central, there's heaps of space, got down there, and man, there would have been over 500 dads trying out. And they'll come from all over the place. I got a couple of dads. One flew over from Perth to show up to the trial. A couple my coach was coming up from Christchurch, and a couple guys were on the same plane as him to come up for the dad's trial. So they flew up from Christchurch. We had guys coming from Nelson. I put another guy in there that flew up from Nelson. So they came from all over the place to come and try out. But I would have over 500 dads, plus their families, which was cool to see. They brought their kids. That was a little bonus. A couple of them running around with their kids. Not that practical, but it definitely got you some bonus points in my eyes. And plus, like, friends and family, probably another 500. So we had 1,000 people down the domain. And then, I had them lining up to weigh in, and the line stretched for about a K, and I was going...
How long were you there for?
I said, this isn't going to work. Gave up, I circle up, and I just ran them ragged.
Yeah.
It just went, because it was supposed to be, I was expecting like 100, I had 100 sheets of paper, and I needed more paper.
Both sides.
I needed more paper by the end of the day, so I just ran them ragged. We had them in the park. We're doing sprints, and then I split them into 3 weight categories, like over 130 kilos, 100 to 130, and then under 130. And just ran them around, had them doing hill sprints, and I think it was like about an hour and a half workout that we put these guys through, and yeah, like it's not to see who's the fittest or anything like that. It's definitely not like a fitness competition, but you can see the effort that someone's putting in. You can see how bad someone wants it. Because I was telling them, go home. I need somebody just to go home. The workout's not going to finish. But they didn't. You could see how bad that these guys wanted to crack at the $50,000, which was crazy. But yeah, I had them working out shadow boxing, and then just went around and picked out a group of guys that I thought worked really hard, and showed some skill, and were roughly eyeballed it, roughly the same size. So I'm excited for it. I got some thoroughbred dads out there in this tournament, and they're all, some of them 5 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids. So to give one of these lucky dads, it'll be hard earned. Definitely credit to all the dads that came down. I wish I could run a 500-man tournament and give them all an opportunity and get a crack at it. But we had to be pretty ruthless with the selection process. But I'm excited. December 14th, we've got it. I've been in touch with all the dads, let them all know. We got them all locked in.
Yeah. You look really excited about this too. Obviously, you're a dad yourself. You know what it means to provide for your family.
It's cool. It's cool, man. Like, that's the whole idea behind it. It was actually my coach Carl. He was like, man, Christmas coming up. Dads need money for Christmas. And I was like, there's no, you could do, I've done pro fighters, and we've done this, and we've all done all different walks of life. But, and just, these dads are working 6 days a week, 7 days a week, long hours, don't get to see their kids and stuff. And they're never going to have $50,000 in the bank. Yeah. Like, money in, money out every week, providing for their family. They're never going to get an opportunity at this kind of thing. So to see how excited all the dads were, and to give all these dads from all these different walks of life an opportunity, and to see them get out and get motivated was like a really cool thing.
Yeah, and then to cut that down to 32, did you feel bad at all that you had to crunch the numbers down so much?
You got no choice. There's no choice. It's a cutthroat game. It's a cutthroat game.
Yeah. No, well, congratulations, and we can't wait to see how that one goes, and congratulations to the 32 dads that made that very tough cut by the sounds of things, and can't wait to see how that all goes.
It'll be exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be cool.
There's some big boppers in there. Yeah. I picked out some guns. I picked out some guns.
You got a rep to protect too.
I think I picked out these 2 blokes, and they were like former rugby players, like fairly athletic looking dudes, and they go, oh, we're brothers. And I was already eyeing up this other guy. And they go, oh, that's our other brother. And I was like, may as well chuck them all. So there's 3 brothers in the competition. I go, you will fight each other though. They're like, we'll smash each other. I was like, so
we've got a side hustle.
Yeah, I got some twins. There's a pair of twins in there. I'll throw in there. But no, it'll be a spectacle. Let me tell you that.
It will indeed. 1 minute scraps going to the next level. Look, another dad that'll be fighting this weekend, Dan, is Jack Della Maddalena up against Islam Makhachev to defend that welterweight title. Obviously very exciting. It's the talk of the town right now because this is arguably one of the biggest cards of the year. But it was nice to finally see them coming together face to face, squaring up, and now we can get, like, when we talk about the size of Islam and how that will compare against Jack, just seeing them together like this made it even more real and exciting as well. Your thoughts on seeing them together before the big clash on Sunday?
Well, they're standing with all these clothes on. I can't. You can't really eyeball it through that.
Well, the puffer jacket was pretty strategic.
Use my X-ray vision. So he's got a hoodie and a puffer jacket on. Anyone looks big in a hoodie and a puffer jacket.
Maybe that was the idea. Maybe that was the idea.
No, it's definitely exciting, man. Like the more that it comes out, now that all like the content's coming out, you got the countdown videos and stuff like that. Even our team in Eugene and our coaches have been like watching that countdown footage because there's very few like behind the scenes opportunities that you get, and countdown is one of them. And so there's seen some really cool grappling exchanges and some really interesting things that Jack Della's added into his game or he's using to counter the Kazakhstani style of wrestling. You know, obviously Craig Jones has been working with Jack Della, and he's very experienced, obviously preparing Alexander Volkanovski to fight Islam Makhachev. Alexander Volkanovski came over and helped Jack Della as well on their own dime. And man, it's looking like he's well prepared. Those are two guys that have faced Islam before. They know his game, they know his style, and Craig Jones, I feel like there's no one better in the world in the grappling aspect of getting someone prepared to counter the Kazakhstani style of wrestling. So I think he's more than well prepared. I feel like Islam will maybe be able to get him down at some stage, but I don't feel like he has the ability to hold him down. The size obviously leans towards Jack Della, and the longer the fight plays out, the bigger that size advantage. Because obviously when the two get a hold of each other or they clash early on, the smaller guy has to use more energy to get Jackie to the ground or to nullify the bigger guy. Just over time, over the 25 minutes, having to carry that extra weight and use that extra energy just accumulates in your body and your lactic acid. So I feel like, you know, Jack's got the size advantage. I feel like he's going to be able to scramble back to his feet, and just no one's better at mixing up the punches in the game. So as the fight gets closer, you know, I thought it would be a bit closer, a bit further out, but I'm feeling pretty confident that Jack Della's going to get his hand raised.
Yeah, absolutely. And we see when Islam, you know, comes into these fights that he's not shy to throw hands at first. People think, you know, Islam come into a fight, wrestle straight away, and those sorts of things. But we do know that Islam likes to stand and throw his strikes as well, and then eventually, perhaps if it's not working as well as he would like it to, takes these guys to the ground. But do you expect Islam to stand and trade with Jack to get a feel that way? Or?
No. He I wouldn't say stand and trade. Like he obviously. I mean, obviously the threat of his takedown intimidates. Got a lot of guys to not wanting to strike. So even though he's fighting better, more skilled strikers, they're obviously hesitant to throw because they have that threat of the takedown in the back of their head. Islam is just very patient, and he's very hard to hit. I think he's got like some of the lowest strikes absorbed on the feet in the UFC, definitely in the lightweight division. He's just very good at keeping distance. He's just very patient, and he'll land a punch and follow it up with a takedown. It's a pretty, like their style, him and Khabib, like their style or their approach and their game in mixed martial arts is not the most complicated in the world. They're going to do the same exact thing no matter who they fight, you know, so they don't have to deviate their game. Whereas like myself or that, I can go this way or that way. Like your mixed martial arts game has options to it. These guys, you know, Hamza, Islam, Khabib, it's like no matter who they fight, they're going to do the exact same thing. They're going to be try not to get hit on the feet, try to land a punch. Once that punch lands, they're following it up with a takedown, and then obviously their body lock, top heavy game, smashing pass, and they're just looking to wrist ride and just wear guys down.
Just imposing that will, Just imposing that will. Talk to us about Jack Della, because obviously, you say Craig Jones is there helping him, Alexander Volkanovski is there helping him. They're going to have, the plan, the blueprint to try and get the better of Islam. But what kind of fighter does it take to absorb that information and be able to execute against a fighter like Islam? Like, we talk about Jack Della, you've just mentioned his striking is so strong, his boxing is that his defense will be, he won't be able to be held down on the ground. But to be able to absorb all that information and execute the plan, what does it say about Jack Della as a fighter and a champion?
Well, he's already a champion.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like it'll just be small adjustments, this fighting as Islam Makhachev. So it's not like he's fought two strikers, two very complicated high-level strikers, and then he's had to switch his game and for this Islam Makhachev fight and had to add new things. It's not like that. He's coming off the back of fighting Gilbert Burns. He's coming off the back of fighting Bilal Muhammad, who has a very similar style in terms of grappling and what they're trying to do. The body locks, the smash pass, wrist rides. That's a very similar game to Islam Makhachev. So Jack's running two camps back to back of doing the exact same thing that he's going to try and implement against Islam. So he's obviously just adding like a little bit more flavor to his game, but it's more of the same for him. He's probably going to be sick of it after this and want to fight a striker.
Absolutely, won't be asking for a striker indeed. Now, also featuring on UFC 322 this weekend in the co-main event is Valentina Shevchenko, current flyweight champion, coming up against Zhang Weili, the strawweight champion. And these two are pound for pound, number one and number two. And I've looked into this a little bit this week, Dan, because I kind of thought they're not really getting too much love. Considering the blockbuster main event that is on this card too. But I was looking into Shevchenko, who we did have a conversation with this week, and looking at, in December will be her 10-year anniversary in the UFC, and she started a month after the famous Holly Holm knockout of Ronda Rousey. So she has been around for quite a while. Obviously, both these women aren't undefeated, but the way in which I feel that they have evolved the MMA game over the years, this fight makes for possibly one of the best female fights that we've seen, some may say ever, but some others would say in a very, very long time. I just wanted your thoughts. We have touched on them before, but in the bigger scheme of things, I feel that this fight perhaps will show maybe an evolution of women's MMA once again, as did the Ronda Rousey Holly Holm blockbuster fight, as has Amanda Nunes fights in the past. But this has the potential to be a really amazing, exciting fight.
It definitely does. It definitely does. Like, these are two girls that know each other very well. They're going to share a lot of similar coaches. Obviously, Shevchenko used to train at Tiger Muay Thai with a lot of the other Kiwi guys, the Hickman brothers, Brad Riddell and stuff like that. She's been experienced in the gym, and now that's changed to Bangtao MMA, where Zhang trains now, and a lot of her coaches come from there too. So they probably have a very in-depth knowledge of each other's games behind the scenes. But from the outside, like, Shevchenko's always been defending a title, and so she fights very smart, doesn't take a lot of damage on the feet, keeps it long, is very good at scoring points on the outside. She's very good at landing kicks and punches, hitting and not getting hit, and keeping a distance. And if the opponent pressures in, she's not shy to wrestle, get on top, and get a lot of control time. She more than likely and does more than any other time, like, decisions her opponents using her game. She's a very skilled, well-rounded mixed martial artist. If an opponent tends to stay on the outside, she tends to win a decision. But Zhang is not one of those people that's just going to stay on the outside. She likes to get in there, she likes to throw some hands, and she likes to bully. So I feel like this fight is going to be an exciting matchup because of Zhang. Shevchenko is going to do what Shevchenko does, but Zhang's going to be the one pushing the action. I think it's going to be a close fight, but I feel like Shevchenko is going to have to dog it out and try and nullify Zhang with her wrestling.
Yeah, for a whole 25 minutes, I'm guessing too, which both these women are well equipped to handle. You just mentioned Brad Riddell, and obviously Zhang Weili's been working with him her last few title fights. Talk about that connection and what Brad Riddell is being able to do in his coaching era right now. We see him working with Alexander Volkanovski as well. But I feel like, this is perhaps a little secret coaching weapon for her coming into this fight.
Yeah, definitely. Brad's over the head kickboxing coach at Bangtao MMA now over in Thailand, so he's doing a lot of coaching. And yeah, he's obviously working with Zhang, and he's flown out to New York, which is familiar territory for him. He's flown out to New York to kind of help her out. So there's a bit of a Kiwi connection there for this big title fight.
And we love it when Kiwis are all up in the mix. And we, as I mentioned earlier, we got to speak with Valentina Shevchenko, hear her thoughts and feelings ahead of possibly the biggest fight of her career. Joining us now, Whānau, returning guest on UFC on Sky, the current UFC flyweight champion, Valentina Shevchenko. Kia ora, Valentina. Hello.
Hello, very nice to see you and hear you.
Look, we've just found some light in your hotel. Tell us about what's happening today. What opportunities are you having today where you're having to move through the hotel?
We are now in New York, and we are on the highest building. It's called H, so it's a gorgeous view to the whole New York, to Hudson River, to all buildings and everything. And we in a few minutes we're gonna have face-off, the first face-off of the week.
Look, how does it feel to be back in New York, Valentina? A lot of people say the mecca of fight sport, being at Madison Square Garden this weekend, but how much do you enjoy New York?
I very love New York, especially like when it's around this time, when it's like getting into the Christmas spirit and everything. It's very gorgeous and beautiful. And New York, it has this unique spirit of liberty, freedom, endless opportunities, and to see all people around all the world speaking all kind of languages. It's just very beautiful and nice, and everyone is like chasing their dreams, and definitely it's amazing feel. And knowing more that our main purpose is to fight in the Madison Square Garden next Saturday, it's even more priceless, because historical venues, so many huge names like legends of the sport was fighting in this arena. And definitely I'm ready for this fight, like in my best shape, ready to defend my belt again. It doesn't matter who stands in front of me. I give all of me, all my best to keep the belt with me.
I ask you what you feel about New York and Madison Square Garden, because it feels like this was the only stage that it could be for you and Weili, because that is the pedigree of fight that we're going to be seeing this weekend. So talk to us about this opportunity, and perhaps how this opportunity came across to you and your thoughts when Weili was going to be your next opponent.
Oh, I'm the fighter who's like every time ready to take any to fight anyone who like getting into the challenging spot and everything like that. And I think it's amazing fight. Weili, it's a great fighter, like very strong champion in strawweight, and I think it's going to be a good fight. And as I say, I will do everything and more to keep my belt with me.
Now, both of you come into this fight, I feel, very evolved fighters. Both come in very strong strikers, obviously, but especially your, grappling, the wrestling, and all this work that you've done around your complete MMA game has grown so much over the years. Do you want this fight to stay standing, or how do you see this playing out?
Exactly what you say. It's very true. It's mixed martial arts, and this is the beauty of this sport. That any fighter can choose any plan game what it's exactly gonna fit for the victory. And what is MMA? It's a universal fight. It's you have to strike excellent. You have to kick. You have to wrestle. You have to grapple. You have to know everything. It's very you have to spend a lot of time to make your knowledge on a point and be universal fighter in such a beautiful, modern, and the best sport of combat sport at the modern era. It's kind of like it's the sport not just appeared, someone created from the mind or something like that. No, first of all it starts with ideas. For example, in 70s, such huge name in martial arts like Ed Parker, he was the father of American Kempo karate. Then Elvis Presley, Chuck Norris, Bruce Lee, Bill Wallace. So it started from them, from their idea, because they on that time in karate, kickboxing, it was like perfect and modern technique on their time. And their idea was like to be the best universal fighter. And it started from that times. And then in 90s, when the UFC and mixed martial arts started to make their competition, it's like it was selection of everything. It's not just like, oh, it's this technique looks good, I will use it. No, the only technique that survived, that was like the most dangerous, the most like effective technique, they stayed. The sport was born from the real techniques, the best techniques from all martial arts, from taekwondo, karate, from then when it started jiu-jitsu and wrestling, then it's definitely all these deadly techniques joined in mixed martial arts. And this is now we are living the best modern sport. I just like very happy that I live in the right place, right time, and do my things that I very love to do.
What has been your favorite thing to learn? Because I feel like Muay Thai to you has come very naturally. 17-time world champion, you show those strengths in the octagon, but something that was perhaps something that you had to develop over the years. What was the technique that you've enjoyed learning about the most?
For me, mixed martial arts, it never was something that I was doing only stand-up or something like that, and then suddenly, boom, I had to do another sport. No, because my coach, Pavel Fedotov, he always has this idea of the universal fight. He was one of that persons who was looking for the perfect technique to make from his students the best ones, the universal ones. They don't, who don't have any problem to fight in stand-up or in the ground. And that's why since my early age in the sport, I was competing in all kind of, like in karate Shotokan, karate Kyokushinkai, Sitaru, everything, in all kind of taekwondo, North Korean, South Korean, all kickboxing, wushu sanda, all Muay Thai, and definitely we always was training in the this grappling or wrestling like sambo, judo, and all these techniques. It was in my way of building up myself as a fighter. That's why for me it was not anything surprising. If you think about it, in 2003 I won my first world title in mixed martial arts. Back in South Korea, I fought in 2003 when many not even was born actual modern fighters. Yeah, it's like not only the UFC didn't have female fighters, like no one could had. That's why it was so I spent a lot of time fighting in Muay Thai, and definitely Muay Thai, it's amazing sport. It's like universal, I would say, complete fight in the stand-up, because it include all kind of techniques. And this is me, it's like how you say, it's a product creation of all the techniques together. And now I have this huge privilege to show my skills in technique for the world.
Yes, you do that, absolutely. I want to ask you, over all these years, you've learned so much. How important is it for you to keep learning?
I tell that if you stop, learn, this is that's it. It's over. While we are living, we have to learn. And it's applying not only to martial arts, it's applying to life itself. You have to study something to keep your brain active. It doesn't matter how old are you. For example, I have friends, they are pilots, and one of them, he is 81, another one 86, and wow. The third one, it's 91, and they are active pilots. The useful energy that I see not many young people have this useful energy. And this is very inspiring, and it's kind of like showing the example that while you are breathing, while you are living, waking up in the morning, you have learned something more. It's never... the world is so big and so much interest and things, you have to just not be lazy.
How much has preparing for Zhang Weili what new learnings perhaps for yourself have you taken away from this camp in terms of you know, continuing to evolve?
Oh, it's I know that I'm facing very dangerous opponent, and we took it as serious as it was needed. And my training camp, we started in Thailand, and then we train in Las Vegas, then Texas, El Paso. We continue the last part here in New Jersey, and like everything what I had to do in my training camp, like exactly strong, very like focused, we did.
Well, look, before I let you go, Valentina, what can we expect to see this weekend? What kind of show do you want to put on? Because arguably one of the biggest female fights in UFC history coming up this Sunday night.
To put the best of me, it's like, doesn't matter. I have to do like what I have to do. I will do everything to keep the belt with me. This is the goal, and this is the reason why I'm here.
Love it. Thank you so much, Valentina. All the very best for this weekend, and we'll be watching from here in New Zealand.
Thank you. Bye.
Kia ora, kia koe, Valentina Shevchenko for that kōrero, and also featuring at UFC 322, another Australian UFC bantamweight, Cody Haddon, who has touched down in New York as well. Whānau joining us once again from New York, UFC bantamweight Cody Haddon. Kia ora e hoa, and welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Look, tell us your location, mate, because I just said it looks like you're in an office cubicle situation. Where are you?
Islam and Jack, they just faced off at this, I actually don't know the name of the building, but it's a really tall building here, and like it's I think 101 floors, and the view, you can see the whole of New York, you can see Madison Square Garden and everything. I'm just here in one of the office rooms, but yeah, I was getting some photos taken of myself, and Islam and Jack faced off. I think Valentina and Weili are facing off now, and then obviously I had to do this, so pulled up an office room so I could get this done.
Appreciated. No, but how cool.
It's actually warmer in here than out there.
Oh,
so,
good. Yeah. Because it's getting cold over there, right?
Yeah, it is. Like yesterday wasn't too bad, but today the temperature kind of dropped. So it was a bit colder today, especially now as it's going into the nighttime.
Well, look, how cool. You're in New York, absorbing everything that, you know, is to be for UFC 322, but you get to go to some cool places and experience some, you know, pretty cool things as well. So talk to us about, you know, absorbing the environment and the vibe.
Yeah, like, to be honest, I haven't done too much like research about like the landmarks in New York and all this sort of stuff. Like, obviously the most I know about New York is like from the movies, I guess, you know, like you think of like Spider-Man and all those like iconic movies. Obviously it is very much like they say it is. I've been so focused on the fight though that I'm not really, and today's only the first day that we have had to do like more obligations, so now it feels a lot more real. This is really happening now, you know, it's getting to that fight week feeling where, you know, it's like shit, it's about to go down, you know. So and obviously I'm feeling like I wasn't thinking about like the big card and everyone was saying, oh, you know, Madison Square Garden, it's a huge thing and all that, and I was kind of like, oh yeah, I don't think I quite understood or understand the actual extent of it, you know. It's actually quite insane, like from what everyone, even I was talking to Jack Della before, and he was like, you know, like, let's go MSG, this is nuts. And I was like, oh yeah, I guess it is, right? Like, if he's saying that and he's the champ, you know. So I was like, yeah, I better be like I guess you can never really be ready for that though. Like, it's gonna be one of those moments. It was like, shit, this is insane. The way I see it is it's just another fight, another octagon in a different location, but it's what you do in there that's the only thing that matters, you know. It's all the external stuff. It's cool, and I feel like I'm somewhat important, that I'm getting, you know, picked up and taken around to do all these things. But yeah, that's pretty cool, I guess.
Pretty cool. Yeah, pretty cool. All right. It is an iconic location, but you're right. You have to look at it as, you know, it's another day, it's another location. You're just there to do a job at the end of the day. Look, you mentioned you're catching up with Jack, and he's talking about how exciting it is. And, you know, Jack is one of the most calm people you're ever going to meet. So if he's excited about it,
Yeah.
how is he as well,
yeah.
bro?
Oh, he's good. Yeah, he's good. Ready to go. I'm so excited for that fight. I'm more excited for that fight than my own fight. You know, it's like I want to go in, get my fight done, and then just like tune in for, like, I don't think I'll have any nerves and like adrenaline left, but like watching Jack, I'm normally like on the edge of my seat the whole time, you know? So I don't know if I'll have any of that left after my fight, but yeah, it'll be epic watching that fight, you know? I think even just like seeing people like Islam like in person, that's like crazy, you know? It's like you normally, especially from Perth, you're not really bumping into those types of people, you know. I mean, people who you watch on the TV all the time, in person, I'm kind of having like a fan, but also now it's like they are kind of colleagues at the same time, but it's weird. It's like
what, they're
it's
humans too.
like yeah, but that's it, right? I think the beauty of it is once you realize, you know, that everyone's just human. It's like they're doing their thing, but they are regular humans at the same time. That's like the kind of cool part about it too, I guess.
It's a cool learning experience because that's important, because that can be quite overwhelming, you know, ahead of an occasion like yours.
For me, is like when I start thinking like that, I just stop thinking like that and I just start focusing more about the fight and the opponent, the things that matter, you know, because that's the only, like, regardless of who's watching, is like, it's not gonna, like, you just do what you've trained every day to do and what you're like prepared to do in there, you know.
This is just the culmination of all the work that you've done over the years and put yourself in this position. You answered the call 100%. And here you are, you know. Yeah,
100%. And that's, I guess, that's the thing that that when that's the next thing I say to myself, well, you know, you're the elite of what you're doing. That's why they're there watching you, you know, so you're the star of that show, you know. So it gives you confidence when you think like that too, you know. Like, in reassurance, I'm here to prove that I also deserve to be here and what I'm capable of doing, you know. So I'm excited, super excited.
Have you seen MSG yet? Have you seen the Garden yet?
I actually just seen it, like, from where we were, like, we were up pretty high, so you can see all of New York, and I just seen it, and someone was like, that's MSG, and I was like, oh, is that the place? I was like, oh yeah, it looks like a Coliseum. Like, now I understand what people were saying about the Coliseum. Like, it's round building, it's massive, it looks like a modern day Coliseum. Now I understand when people say, like, you're fighting at the Coliseum. I'm like, wow, this is a dream. But like, dream of mine would have been to actually be at the Coliseum like a gladiator back in the day, you know. So now that I get to do it in like modern days, it's huge, pretty mind-blowing, you know. So
it's like nestled in the city, just like RAC Arena. I feel like you're like, oh, there's this whole city, like, and then there's just this random arena.
There's all that skyscrapers everywhere, and then there's just this massive, like, dome sort of shaped structure, but like flat on the top. I imagine when you get in there, inside the building, and all the fans in there, and you look up and you just see like rows of seats of people, I think that's when it will probably hit me a lot harder.
You know, a lot of fighters talk about switching into this mode where they're like, okay, I'm in the place now, I'm good to go, like getting zen with everything. Is there something that you do to prepare yourself, you know, a couple of days out, or are you just pretty much the way you are now, and then fight day comes and you go with the motion?
Normally, I get a lot more serious, and I definitely don't like, I mean, like, I got my missus here with me, and I don't sugarcoat my words. Everything I say is like direct and what I exactly mean. I'm not that I'm being mean or anything like that. It's very like, I have time to like make people feel happy or a certain way. I'm like, you know, it's business. She understands that, you know, she's been through it before. The fight's not today. Like, I'll deal with the whole like emotions when I'm like in there doing the thing. And by that point, when they ring the bell anyway, it's all gone and you're throwing. It's like, it's not there anymore. You know, I guess the main nerve-wracking part is like, you know, getting to the venue and getting into your room and all that. And that's like when it's like super, I guess that's when you need to flip a switch way harder, is what I'm trying to say, because you're like, all right, now we need to be, you know, on. But it's like, if I'm like walking around all wired for like all week, that's like exhausting, you know? It's like, you know what I mean? It's like, chill out, bro. Yeah. It's like sometimes you're walking through the lobby and you'll see your opponent or something. I always have this thing of like, see him, I'm always respectful. I never want like any dramas or issues with them, you know, like, because I just see it as like common sense. It's like, bro, we're going to try and kill each other like in a couple of days. Let's just save it for that, you know? Like, I don't know.
We'll have our moment.
We'll have our time. Like, don't worry. You'll get to try and punch me. Like, it's all good, man. Like, you know, like, this is a professional sport. So I feel like with that comes great responsibility. You have to carry yourself like a professional, a certain way, behave a certain way, be able to, you know, talk for the media, be able to do all the things, you know, and that's just what comes with the job. Yeah, it's just all about being a professional, really, you know, and showing up like a professional too.
Because, I mean, like you were saying before, how Islam Makhachev is ultimately your work colleague. And you are at work, you know? It's like that professionalism when you go to work.
Yeah, yeah. And then if I think about it from like a third-party perspective, I'm like, wow, this is really weird. Yeah, like I'd never seen him in person, actually, to be honest. And I just seen him before. And the first thing I thought was, he's pretty big. Like, he's a tall man, and he's like, I don't know, maybe all the guys with him were like not too tall, so he looked taller than he was. But I remember seeing him being like, all right, he's pretty tall, eh? And I was like, even with my manager, and we were like, yeah, he looks pretty tall. Like, I didn't think he'd be that tall, you know? Because, I mean, you never know. And I don't know about the stats too, because sometimes you see opponents reach and all this stuff, or like height, and then you get in with them and they're like, they're not as tall as what they said. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like all the time. Like, how can they not? Because they measure you. Like, when I was on the Contender Series, they literally measure your height, like at the apex. So I don't know how people are like lying about it or giving false. You know what I mean? Because some of these people I've seen or matched up against, says they're a certain height, and then we've stood next to each other. It's like, we're the same height. Like, I don't know what Anyway, so I'd be interested to actually know how tall he is. Not that that's going to change anything. I still feel Jack's going to get the job done regardless, but. Yeah, because I train with lightweights. Obviously, Quillen's a lightweight. And then just seeing Islam, who's the champion of that division, you see the size of him. And then I was like, and obviously he's bulked up to welterweight, so maybe, and obviously, well, he is bigger now.
I know we're here in New Zealand, but obviously when it comes to our Australian brothers over there competing, we come united. So if there is a message that you want to send to all of your supporters here at home in your region.
I just want to say a huge thanks to all my supporters, all Aussies, all New Zealanders, and up the Anzacs. Me and Jack are going to get it done. Thank you for the support, and stay tuned. Thank you.
Love it, bro. Thank you so much for your time. As always, back-to-back weeks.
Appreciate it.
All the best of luck, whānau. Of course, you can watch UFC 322 this Sunday afternoon. Book now on Sky Arena or Sky Sport now. Dan Hooker, you're flying away on a jet plane this Sunday over to Qatar for your next adventure. So talk to us, details, what happens from here on in?
Train every day. Sunday morning, smash out my last fight out, so it'll be my last hard workout. Chill out, watch this, we'll catch the UFC and then get on the plane. I think me and a couple of the boys, Andre and Mike, are heading over on Sunday night, and then Huge and Twist will meet us on later in the week. Exciting times. Exciting times indeed. Well, all the very best. Travel safely. We'll be here standing by, probably checking with you while you're over there. Why not? Why not? If we're getting paid to talk to each other. Send us some behind the scenes and we can talk. We can work together. Get the phone out. Okay, but no, all the very best of luck. I know that New Zealand, Aotearoa is obviously behind you, so all the very best for those travels. Catch up with you next week. And whānau, we'll catch up with you next week as well. Hei kōna mai. The undisputed